Welcome, everyone. Welcome to day two of cloud computing using AWS Bootcamp. All right, today we're going to dive right down into it. As we mentioned yesterday, we looked at the introduction of cloud computing. We also looked at terminologies in the cloud, and we were able to look at Linux command, basic Linux commands. So today we are going to get a feel of what the AWS management console is. And just to point out something, I do hope that our accounts has been created, because after this class, I will expect you to carry out whatever we're going to do today, carry out on your own practice, so that you'll get used to it. Okay, so before we kick off, I would like to know where you're watching from, the state, the country. So do well to drop your comments, and also I'll be expecting your questions. So do well to drop your questions as we go on. So let's quickly dive into it. So straight up, I have my AWS sign in here. I'm about to sign in. So I'll quickly put my, okay, now note, yours might be email. So if you're saying email, put your own email. Mine is an I am. I'll talk about that. So I'll quickly, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Mm, okay. So, so like so you have your own, you just simply log in with your email address. I guess that's what you use. So right here, I have my management console. I just wanted to show us the sign-in process. So right here, this is my management console. Now, if you recall, yesterday we spoke about regions, right? So by default, AWS will assign a region to you. So at the moment, the region assigned to me is North Virginia, which is in the US. So you will see the region assigned to you here. You don't have to change it, just leave it as it is, or if you want, you can change. So these are the various regions out there. So I'm in North Virginia. You might be in Stockholm, you might be in Ohio, wherever region you are placed, you can leave it at that. Okay, so this is my AWS management console dashboard. Right here, I have all the services I have used of late, and the cost and usage, and all other information. But today, we're going to dive right into EC2. And EC2 here is more like a server. As you can see, virtual servers in the cloud. So what are we going to do today? We are going to create a server, convert that server to a web server, and we're going to host a website, or let's say our website, on that server. So today is packed, right? So let's start unpacking, right? Okay. So I will click on instance, and I have my instance right here. So right here, I'm going to choose a name. I'll call this Bootcamp web server. I'll name it. You can give it any name of your choice. Now, this is very key. We have to look at this. Which AMI, application and OS images. Now, let's just say it this way. What we are doing here at the moment is we are trying to create a machine. When I say a machine, see it as a laptop, right? Your laptop has a name. In your laptop, there's an OS running. That OS can either be Mac, can either be Windows, can either be Ubuntu, whatever operating system you're using. So the equivalent of operating systems in Amazon Web Service is called Amazon Machine Image, right? So for this case, I'm going to use Ubuntu. I'm going to use Ubuntu because it's a Linux machine. And if you recall also, I spoke about you coming across or coming in contact with a lot of Linux machine in this particular course. So I'm going to use a Linux machine. Now, please note this, free tier eligible. That's very, very key. I don't want to be charged for this, right? So okay, this is my Ubuntu. I'll leave it as it is. Now, key pair. This is very important. This key pair, you can use it to connect securely to your instance. So I'll quickly create a key pair. So I'll create a key pair. Bootcamp key. Bootcamp key. I'll leave it at the default.pem and I'll create my key pair. Okay, so my key pair has been created. Network settings, I will leave everything here as it is. I won't change anything. Now, one thing I need to check is allow HTTPS and allow HTTP. What this will do, this will enable my machine to be able to have access to the internet, right? So I will enable that and also enable HTTP. Okay, configure storage. I will leave it as the default storage and we are done. So just a recap, you put the name of your server, any name you prefer, your operating system, you choose Ubuntu, you create a key pair. Now let me say this, when you create a key pair, a file will be downloaded. So as you can see here, my key pair file has been downloaded, right? So you have a key pair and you check on the allow HTTPS and allow HTTP. I'll quickly launch my instance. I'll quickly launch my instance. Okay, so I need to wait, and my instance has been initiated successfully. Okay, we have created this machine. What do we want to do with it? We want to convert this machine, this server, to a web server. What is the function of a web server? I'll quickly take us to a website, say logtechng.com. This is a website, right? If you navigate to this particular web address right here, you will have this same view I have here. Why? Because this website has been hosted on a particular server. And whenever we access this website with this name, we are simply accessing that server, right? So this website you're seeing here has been built and has been hosted, and we want to achieve something similar, something like this. Okay, so my instance has been initiated. We quickly connect to my instance. Now, note we have various ways of connecting to our instance, but I'm going to opt for this particular method because it's straightforward for both Windows and Mac. So I want to connect to my instance on my AWS console using the EC2 instance connect method. Okay, I'll choose connect. All right, my instance is establishing connection. Okay, so it's connecting, establishing connection. All right, up, set. So I'll quickly zoom in. Okay, so I'll quickly zoom in so that we can view properly. All right. Now, right here, I have my machine. So the first command I want to run is a command that will update or pre-installed packages on this machine. Now I'm going to use sudo. You will see me using sudo more often. Now let me explain. Sudo, what does it mean? Sudo simply means give me admin privileges, right? So I'll go to my system and show us something. Now, if you try to run an application on your system, right? So you try to run application, something like this, and you have this option. You have open and you have run as administrator. What are the differences? What is the difference? Open opens the app, yes, but run as administrator gives you admin privileges. So the equivalent of run as administrator in Windows, the equivalent in Ubuntu machine is this command called sudo. So sudo makes me run as an admin. As you can see here, to run a command as administrator, user roots use what? Sudo command. So I'm going to use sudo command to run almost literally every operation I'm going to run here. So sudo apt. Now apt is functions as a package manager. So it's what we use to install packages on an Ubuntu Linux machine. So sudo apt in update. I want to update all pre-installed packages. So I'll quickly update and that will run the command for me. Okay, so all pre-installed packages have been updated, right? Again, if you have questions, you can do well to drop them in the comments and rest assured you will get answers. All right, my update has been done. The next thing I need to do is, remember I mentioned we want to convert this server at the moment to be a web server. So we have various web servers out there. I'm going to use Apache for this particular illustration. So I need to install Apache, sudo apt install Apache 2. That is the name of the package. So I need to install Apache, enter. So I'll be asked some questions. Do I want to continue? I will say yes. And the package will be installed. Now I have to verify installation. How do I do that? Very simple. I'll pen down, I'll impute the name of the command I installed. Okay, this is still installing, taking its time to install. Okay, we are set. I'll run this Apache 2. I want to verify if this package was installed successfully. Apache 2 version. So I need to check if the package is installed. If it is, I'll see the version number. And right here, I have server version Apache 2.4.58. Now I have installed this Apache server. I need to start it. The command to do that is sudo systemctl start Apache 2. Sudo systemctl start Apache 2. I need to enable it. Enable here means should my server turn off and then turn on again. I don't want to manually start this Apache server. I want Apache server to start when my server starts. You know, easy work, right? So sudo system ctl enable Apache 2. Okay, now it has been enabled. I need to confirm if my Apache server is actually has been started, if it's up and running, right? I'll do that with the command sudo system ctl status Apache 2. Okay, and I have my server active and running. As you can see, on boot time, it has been enabled. So I'm good to go. Now we have um, started, enabled our Apache server. As you can see here, started Apache 2.service, the Apache HTTP server. Now let's verify this. If you come down here, looking here, I have two numbers, one public IP, the other private IP. We take this public IP because this is the IP address that is going to be universally available or that will allow anybody to access that particular instance or EC2. So I will copy the public IP, open a new tab, and I'll try to access it. Now, right here, I have the default Apache web page, right? I have the default Apache web page. Now, we are going to we are going to create a website. So I would like us to suggest the kind of website that we're going to create. So I'll quickly go over to the comments section. I want to see your comments. So what website would you like for us to create? I'm waiting, sending your recommendation, any website you want us to build. As you will see, we'll be able to build this website within a matter of seconds with our AI assistant tool. As you know, the world is deeply, greatly moving towards the AI direction, and we have to adapt instead of resist. We have to adopt. I mean, instead of resist the AI trend, the AI wave, we have to adopt it. And to be frank with you, AI assists in making your work and development faster. So I want to see your suggestion. I want to see your suggestion in the comment section. So we go over there now, and I'm waiting for your suggestion. I want to see the websites that you would like for us to build. So I'm waiting for your comments. All right. We're going to go ahead to build. Okay, I have one there. Okay, good. I've seen that. So I'm going to go ahead and build an e-commerce website that deals in the sales of clothing and accessories. So let's quickly dive right into it. So let's quickly dive right into it. Okay, back to EC2 server. So right here, so right here, we have our server, and I'm going to ask. I'm sure we use AI often, and I would like to get your recommendations in the comments. Which would you prefer we use? But as for me, I'm going to go over to Gemini, Google Gemini. I want to use this to create a website. So please note the way I'm going to prompt because it's very important. I'm going to have everything in one file, both my HTML and my CSS. Just so you know, HTML and CSS are the web technologies used in building websites, web pages. So I'm going to have both of them in one file. So I'll quickly prompt my AI. I want to build a visual appealing website. This website would be a let me say shopping website that deals on clothings, accessories, shoes. Which other items do clothing stores deal on? Clothing, accessories, shoes. Let me add I think sunglasses falls under accessories. Yeah, I think this is good. Um the name of the company or the name of the brand is let's bootcamp. All images should be of high quality and please note this next part is very very important because based on my previous what's it called prompts, I normally build in other frameworks. So I will explicitly tell my AI assistant tool I want to create this web site in one file, that is the HTML and CSS will be in one file. Okay. And with that, within a GIF, within a second, we're going to have a website created. So it's still doing all of that. So while it's creating that, I'll head over to my IP address I pasted here. So as you can see, this is the default welcome home page used to test the correct operation of the Apache 2 server. Now I want to change this default web page. So if I come here, if I head over here, I'll see you should replace this file located at var www html index.html. If you recall our yesterday's class, we treated Linux commands. So those commands we learned yesterday, they're going to come very handy here. Now, in a Linux machine, how do we move from one file to the other? Remember, CD. So I'm going to CD, which means change directory. I want to change directory to var. Now, this path I am imputing here, I'm not calling it offhand. This is the path, right? var www html. So I'll quickly pen that. var www html. I want to navigate to this path. Now I am in this path. Now, if I do ls, I have a file here called index.html. I simply want to remove that file. How do we remove a file in a Linux machine? ROM, right? Remove index.html. Okay. As you can see, I can't remove the file because the file is protected. What that means is I can't remove this file without the administrator access or permission. Then I will use sudo rom index.html, and voila, that file is gone. If I do ls, that is list the content of HTML folder. I have nothing. Now what I want to do is this. I will simply create a file, right? Remember we had this. Now this is my web page that Gemini has built. It's not looking lengthy, but I'll work with that. So I'll take this and I'll come here. So right here, I'm going to do this. I want to create a new file, right? I know, remember yesterday we used new item to create a new file, but there's a better way to create files. There's what we call a text editor. And I'm going to use Nano to create a new file today. So you're going to learn another method, an alternative method to creating files in a Linux machine. So sudo nano, what is the name of this file? Index.html. Now, the beautiful thing about Nano is that Nano does not just create. With Nano, you can create and write immediately. So once I initiate that command, it's now asking me to what? To write into the file. Remember, I'll take the code my AI assistant tool gave to me, and I'll quickly paste it here. I'll paste the code without changing anything. Or if we can change some things, but I'll just leave it as it is. And what I want to do now is I want to save this folder, this file. How do I save it? Control S. S for xylem, X for xylophone. Which other X do we have? X as in the cross S, not S for son. Control S. Then I'll click on Y. I want to save that. Control XY. Okay. So my file has been saved. Now I want to read a file. Remember, we read a file, we use cat index.html, and no such file. Okay, I'll run this command again. Seems like that file did not create. So I will run the command. Let me just quickly exit this and come back. Sudo nano index.html. I'll paste what I have copied. I will save this file. Okay, now sudo cat index.html. Okay, now the file has been saved and this is the content I have inside. So what I want to do now is I want to see this on my web page, right? I want to see this on my web page. So I'll simply copy the public IP, or you can use this. We paste it here and launch. And as you can see, I have my website, Elite Bootcamp, and this is my simple website that we have created. As you can see, I didn't have to code a line of code here or write a line of code here. I was able to achieve this with the help of my AI assistant tool. So that's why I will always encourage the adoption of AI. It speeds up your development process by a million by millions of seconds. It saves you time in a very, very, very beautiful and long way. So I will encourage that you adopt the use of AI and learn how to prompt. So right here, I have my website, my web page. So what I want to do is you can take out these numbers here and try it on your phone. Now, let me point this out. If you try this on your phone at first, it might not work. You might have a break. And the reason is this. Remember, you're seeing here not secure. That means this particular site at the moment is not secured, but we can make it secured, right? So at the moment is not secured. So what you will see is something like this, HTTPS. You will see something like this, right? So if I launch this, it will break. Like I'm going to have an error, kind of. So what I want you to do is just remove the S and run the command, right? Remove the S and run the command. So you can quickly take this IP address in the you will find it in the comments below 98.84.127.99. You can try it um you can try it on your on your browser, your phone, or your laptop. 98.84.127.99. So I'd like to know who has tried viewing the website we just built on their phone, on their laptop, on their device. So you can find the IP address in the comment section. So you can quickly try that out, and I want to see your response. I want to see your comment if it's showing on your phone or your laptop or your device in general. So this is how we can host a website using Amazon EC2. As you can see, this website is actually cool. You can actually, if you have a business, you can use your AI assistant tool to enable or help you create your website. And I mean, put yourself out there and you can scale and promote your business, right? Yes. Okay, so I want to see who has tried this. I want to see who has tried it. Face. Okay, I want to see who has tried it. I want to see who has tried it. I want to see your comments. And also remember, if you are, I want to see your comments where you're viewing from, the particular state, country that you're viewing from, right? So I want to see the comments. If you've tried it, is it working for you? 98.84.127. You can find the IP address. You can find the IP address on the comments below. All right. Okay. I'm saying okay, let's continue. I'll be expecting your responses. Screen. I'll be expecting your responses. Okay, so let's quickly look at this. We have our website here, right? We've done this. And one more thing I would like to try out is okay, yeah, please note one more thing. This is instance is running. I'll leave it running um, for us so that we can try the instance. Now let's look at the storage service in AWS, right? I'm sure we've all come across or we've all had storage issues before now. A scenario where you want to save a file on your phone and the file is too big, your phone has run out of space. You tried a memory card, the SD card too filled up, you've run out of space. If I'm sure we've all have related or we've all have experienced this. Now I want to provide us with a solution for storages, and that is the AWS S3 storage. AWS provides us a storage service which is up to 5 terabytes. Yes, 5 terabytes. And that service is the S3 service. And the full meaning of S3 is scalable storage. The full meaning of S3 here is no, that's the meaning. The scalable storage there is the meaning. Is the description of the service I mean. So S3 buckets, as is mostly called, S3 buckets. So I'm going to see how to create this bucket and how to um, save files in them. Okay, so let's quickly do this. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a bucket. I have a command here for creating bucket. I'll click on create bucket and I'm going to give this bucket a name. Now note, bucket names must be 3 to 63 characters and unique within the global namespace. What this simply means is that the name you're using, you're going to make sure that nobody in the world has used the name. Like the name has to be globally unique. So, what are the chances that someone has named their bucket AWS Bootcamp, AWS Bootcamp Day 2? What are the chances? We'll find out. AWS Bootcamp Day 2. Now, I will simply go ahead and create. Oh, wow. Someone has used this name already, AWS Bootcamp Day 2. Okay, let's make it unique. Let's add logtech AWS Bootcamp. So I'll create. What are the chances that someone has created that bucket? Voila, our bucket has been created. So when creating yours, try to make your bucket name unique, right? Now I have my bucket, which is view details. So this is my bucket, right? Now in this bucket, I want to upload my files. I want to upload my images. I want to upload my folders, right? So what I encourage people to do is to arrange their files in folders. Let me say I have a movie folder. I will come here and say movies, right? If it's going to be a picture, I'll say pictures. Just arrange it for easy access so your files will not be cluttered everywhere. You have them arranged structurally. And I'll name these pictures. That means it's going to hold pictures for me. I'll create a folder in my bucket. So right here in my bucket, I have a folder called pictures. Now I am in pictures. I would like to upload an image, right? So I want to add files. I'll move over to my document. I want to add a file. Okay, I'll use image. So I will upload that image and upload. Okay, it's uploading. Okay, so my file is in progress, almost at 100. Okay, now let me try to view my image. If I try to view my image, we're going to see something. So what did I do? I simply clicked on, okay, let me just, you can either click here or you can click on close. Anyone works. So I have this, right? Now I want to view my image. So I'll simply select the image and copy URL. I'll open a tab and I'll paste this there. Now you would notice something: access denied. Why is this? By default, AWS, they are security conscious. So what that means is by default, nobody can see the content in your S3 bucket unless you allow them access to view your S3, to view the content in your S3 bucket. So what that means is this is my bucket, which is Logtech AWS Bootcamp, right? So I'm going to move over to this bucket. I will head to properties. Uh, okay, scratch that. I'm going to head over to permissions. So, okay, let me take this step again. Remember, we were at this place where we saw access denied. What I did was I simply went back to my buckets tab where I have my buckets. What bucket am I in? Logtech AWS Bootcamp Day 2. I'll head over to permissions. Now, what do we have here? Block public access. So public access is granted to buckets and objects. This is just a description. What this means is don't allow anyone to see what is inside my bucket. So I want to edit this. So what I want to do, I'm going to unblock all public access, right? So I will unblock this and save changes. Just for confirmation, I'll confirm. Allow me to see what is, or allow others to see what is in this bucket. If I do this, I'll still get access denied. Me just allowing public access is not enough. AWS, they are quite security conscious and all of that. So I need to write a policy. Now, see this policy as an instruction given to AWS, right? So this is an instruction given to AWS. So I'm quickly going to come here and get my policies. You don't have to worry. These policies, you will get them in the comments section below. So I have various policies here. I'll simply get the one for S3. I'll simply get the one for S3. And okay, I'll copy this. Okay, like I said, you will get this comments section. What I just copied now, you will get it in the comment section below. So it's coming to the comments now. You will get it. Okay, so this command I used, you will find it in the comments, the policies. So right here, we have, so right here, I'm going to have this. So I will edit and I will paste my policy. So right here, this is my policy. Now what I want us to do is this. On your own, when you paste it on your policies on this particular area, I want you to edit this. Edit this with your bucket name. Remember our bucket name? Logtech AWS Bootcamp Day 2. You need to put your bucket name here. Please, no typos. Confirm is your bucket name. Logtech AWS Bootcamp Day 2. So exactly, I have that. Okay, so I'll quickly come here and type that again. Logtech AWS Bootcamp Day 2. Okay. I'm having an error sort of. Okay, it seems like I didn't, everything was copied. Okay, so I'll try and save changes. Okay, I had an error there. So I'll quickly check out what is wrong with that. Oh, I've spotted the issue. I'll remove this and I'll paste. Sorry, this should not be your bucket name. Rather, it should be your bucket ARN. Now, this is the ARN, right? Not the bucket name, please. The ARN. This ARN here signifies, it means Amazon Resource Name. What does it mean? It simply means that this is the name Amazon will use to uniquely identify your bucket amongst all the list of buckets created under Amazon S3, right? So this is the unique name. I'll be the only one to have this name, ARN AWS S3, three column, then the name of my bucket. So please, I have to paste my ARN there, and I'll paste my ARN. As you can see, the typo is gone. Please, not just the bucket name, rather the bucket ARN. Thanks. So I will save changes, and voila, my bucket policy has been edited. Now, what I'll do is I will head over to the object in my bucket. This is my folder called pictures. In pictures, I have my folder. I will select that folder and I will copy URL. I'll head over to my browser tab and I'll paste this. Now my image is going to show, right? So this is how we can use S3 to store files, not just images. You can also store movies, you can also store pictures, you can also store document files and all of that. So today we have seen how to convert an EC2 to a web server, and we're able to host a website that we created with the use of our AI assistant tool. Also, we have seen how to use S3 buckets to save files. Today, we looked at how to save an image. It is still the same process as saving a video, a document file, or any kind of file in general. And we also saw that AWS does not allow public access to your buckets, right? So we saw how to unblock that, and we also looked at how to use policies to grant public access, and we were able to view a picture that we saved in our S3 buckets. Now, if you should get this link, you also see this image, right? So we have treated two services in AWS, the instance and the S3 bucket. So I'll be taking your questions. If you have any, you can do well to drop them in the comments. Also, I would like to see if you've viewed this particular website in the comment section. Montage.